Hello everybody. So welcome to Gilani Homes video introductions of Staten Island, right? So we are talking about various neighborhoods in Staten Island. When it comes to um, South Shore of Staten Island, pretty much everybody says, I want to move to South Shore, right? But South Shore itself is a huge area that have a lot of communities. So we're going to be talking about some of those communities today individually, right? So we will start with Annadale, but Annadale also have a beautiful neighborhood called Southeast Annadale, kind of a breakaway of Annadale, right? Then we have Arden Heights, Woodrow, Princess Bay. We have Pleasant Plains, Rossville, and Huguenot, and Tottenville. Tottenville being the last stop in Staten Island, right? So the closest point to outer bridge crossings is Tottenville. So we will talk individually about these neighborhoods, what they consist of, and what makes these neighborhoods unique from each other, even though from far they look the same as being the South Shore of Staten Island. So when we talk about the neighborhoods in South Shore of Staten Island, right? So you can't talk about South Shore of Staten Island without talking about Southeast Annadale. This is one of the exclusive neighborhoods. I think people who want to live on the hills, those are the hill communities, including Toad Hill, Lighthouse Hill, right? But then you have a very exclusive community in Southeast Annadale, street name Nicholas Drive. These are beautiful mansions there. Then Annadale is around it, and then you go Arden Heights, a lot of communities, townhouse communities there as well. Then you have neighborhoods of Woodrow, Princess Bay, Pleasant Plains, Rossville, and Huguenot. These are the classic neighborhoods where if somebody comes to me and tell me that we need to buy a center hall colonial on a 100 foot by 100 foot lot, decent sized lot on Staten Island. Obviously we are part of New York City, so when you say 100 by 100, that's considered a large lot. You really have to take those people to these neighborhoods. There is nothing on Staten Island where that kind of lot sizes exist other than the hills. On Staten Island, majority of the Staten Island is a 40 by 100, 50 by 100 lots. So that's a unique feature in these communities, but yet they also have condos and townhouses communities. Staten Island overall is a bedroom community, so you will find your townhouse and condos pretty much no matter where you go, with the exception of very few communities like the Hills and Southeast Annadale for that matter, and some section of Tottenville by the water side. Those are some beautiful $1 million neighborhoods over there. If you come to Staten Island and you tell me you want to live in the South Shore, I can tell you can fit in South Shore with the budget of $300,000 to $500,000 being a starter home, townhouse, condo communities, of course, $2 million, $2 million plus even. So that's the South Shore. It's very diverse in the neighborhood stock, housing stock of it, but at the same time, these neighborhoods are in the South Shore where people, when they move there, they're not most concerned with their commute. So they are the furthest away neighborhoods from Manhattan in that regard. But we do have wonderful express buses that go through Jersey and they take you right into Manhattan. So we do have a lot of people live in the South Shore, the community of Manhattan, because of those express buses. South Shore of Staten Island obviously is a huge area geographically speaking, right? So you have a lot of public schools and private schools there, some of the well-known private schools, Catholic schools obviously. Just make sure that you go on our website. On the page you will see all the listing of schools. We have made it very, very convenient for people to figure out the school district for yourself, providing the links to the New York City Department of Education direct. Now remember, South Shore is not really South Shore is the reason why we are known as the borough of parks. And truly speaking, there are so many parks, and you will see some of that in the video footage. Wolf's Pond Park is there. Lemon Creek Park is there. It's a beautiful day to spend a weekend. Go there and spend a day. They're right along the ocean side as well. You have a Conference House Park in Tartanville. That is pretty much the most southern point in the New York State. In the Conference House is that point in the whole New York State. That's the most southern point. It was really, there's some historical value there with the Conference House. So visit that if you can. They have done some renovations there. It's a beautiful park. If you live in the South Shore, you would almost feel like you are in suburbs. There's a true feeling to that. But yet, luckily in the last, say 10-15 years, we have decided to develop the South Shore of Staten Island to make sure that our residents in the South Shore don't necessarily go to Jersey whenever they have to buy something, right? So we have provided the shopping areas in the South Shore. The area around Page Avenue is beautifully developed now with so many restaurants and good stuff. And then there's a new Target is in the South Shore, Home Depot is in the South Shore. So I think South Shore have come a long way, where they are not the area where they were so quiet. They have their life of their own happening in the South Shore, which is all a good stuff. It makes it easy for the South Shore residents. Years ago, you had to almost come away from that towards the mall to buy anything. And you, of course, you still do it, but there is a lot to do in the South Shore, including some nightlife.